03 Renault Megane Mark II, or Megane 2, inner tie rod end. It's that laddie in there on the inside. The joint's worn on the inside of him. Luckily in this case the joint here is not wore out. First thing we need to do is open up this lock nut and open up this lock nut. This one is definitely going to need a bit of cleaning, a bit of oiling, as the thread could come undone. There's plenty of oil on the thread after a good bit of a clean. Should do the trick. It does help if you've got one of these snap-on guns, but if you don't, do it the hard way. So now the best thing at this stage, once you've got that down, is you need to undo this. Obviously undo your lock nut at the back, but also count the number of turns. It just means that when you put the this old track rod end back on the new inner tie rod end, you'll put it on with the same number of turns, and the steering won't be exactly in line, but it'll be fairly close. It'll save you a bit of time. There's 15 turns. The next thing is to remove the little spring clip and holes on the front of it, and the little cable tie that goes around the back. It is undone. Once that's undone, of course, the gate that comes off. So you're going to need that again. There's nothing wrong with that one, just need to refit it back on afterwards. So the wear is actually in this shiny part here, the chromium part. Although it feels fine now, it's the bit that's causing the trouble. I'm not sure how Renault would have, what tool they used to take them off, but I use a pair of Stilson. Luckily now the new one comes with a nut. After a small bit of force, thread comes undone. See how that's threaded on there. You see the witness mark of the Stilson left. Now there is also this plasticky lad here. No idea what that's for. The new one, like I said, comes with a nut, a squared off nut there. You can put a spanner on that, and when that screws on in there, you can tighten that up. There is space, however, for that orange lad to go on first. Possibly a good idea. Like I said, no idea what that's for, but it came off, so I guess I'll put it on. So once that's all good and tight, put your spanner on the back of that. Don't have to go like mentally tight on it, because you can actually damage the rack. It's actually not that, it's not all that strong, but it wasn't actually all that tight in the first place. And that right helps. So when you got the boot slip back over it here, don't forget about your little spring clip. You can reuse that one. Now the one on the inside is not reusable. It's not the reusable type. So you just need to replace that with another cable tie that you have to get yourself. Also, this bit here is where you'll then adjust it. That's the 13mm spanner, generally speaking, on most of these. And of course, you've counted the number of threads that you've undone this with and put it on by the same amount. Nothing is tight yet. That will be done afterwards, and I'll show you how to do that with the string. So when you get your wheel back on, you need to obviously line up your wheels, your steering alignment again. So what I've got here is a bit of checker plate, goes on the floor, and a simple bit of tin which I found in the shed that the tire can sit in. So it'd actually be able to slip easily, or more easily, than if it was just on the floor. You see that slipping there. It's pretty good. Handbrake is obviously on, just in case. Alright, when it comes to the string, what you want to do is, you want to get a piece of string that goes right the way around the circumference of the car, but only in contact with the tyres. So start at this corner here. You can see that The string's obviously in contact with the front of the tyre right there. You want to get it to go through the centre of the wheel as near as you can. That's not exactly in the middle, but then I can't allow it to hit off these raised bits. See how that would be, sticking it out. So when you come to this part, you'll notice here the string isn't exactly in contact with the tyre. What that will allow you to believe is that this tyre, that this wheel at this minute, is slightly towing out. So to get that completely straight, we can now adjust that. Minute and a half, it's good. Minute and a half for lunch. Back tyres, you can see, now we're not going to adjust the back wheels. We haven't gone anywhere near them. We're not going to be doing that at all. You can see they actually tow out. And you see what I've done with the string here? Just wrapped it around the back because to tie onto the rear blades. But the first string starts here. So I'll just tie it onto the alloy wheel. Again, I'm not going to go near the back. When looking at the front wheel here, we can see that the distance between the tyre and the thread and the cord is actually quite a lot wider than the other side. So we've got to adjust this. That's not exactly the centre of the wheel, but it's as near as I can get. The other thing you have to observe, of course, is that your steering wheel is in the straight ahead position. Can't see that because of the fucking window. There you go, straight ahead position. Adjust away. Now you can see I've only got the skid plates, or 2 metal sheets, on the driver's side front wheel first. So I'm going to do this side first and then do the other side. So when you're finished, just make sure your steering wheel's still straight. And what it should look like is the little cord is just in contact with the tyre. So all you're doing there is you've got the cord on the front and the cord on the back of the tyre in the same way. Again, making sure that none of this alloy wheel is getting in the way of the cord and bringing it out further. Same with the other side. So all you've done is you've made the 2 wheels straight to each other. That's just leaning up against the cord there. And you haven't done anything with the back. Now what this allows you to do is to drive the car safely to the repair shop so that you can get the tracking done correctly. Because although your wheels are now straight, the car maker will suggest that the front wheels are either towing in and towing out by a small amount. You can't tell how much. Only with the right equipment can you do that.